Title 42, which is set to expire May 23rd. And for the first time since really the White House has been saying that they're going to let this basically expire, he took a step back.
Are you considering delaying lifting Title 42?
No, what I'm considering is continuing to hear from well, first of all, there's going to be an appeal by the Justice Department. Because as a matter of principle, we want to be able to be in a position where if in fact it is strongly concluded by the scientists that we need Title 42, that we be able to do that. But there has been no decision on extending Title 42.
Putting all the immigration issues aside, the drug influence, the drugs coming over, and the sex trafficking, frankly, should be enough to say stop. Yep. Keep 42 in place until we figure this mess out.
We've already seen the March numbers, the highest numbers in the entire Biden administration. They were 221,000 encounters. Let me take you back to March of 2020. The Trump administration, 37,000 encounters. Still a lot.
Yeah.
But nothing like 220,000. We talk about invasion of Russia, of Ukraine. I use those numbers. There are not that many Russian troops in Ukraine.
Describe again the numbers of people we're talking about coming in each day, according to the Border Patrol, if 42 is lifted.
They're thinking 18 to 20,000 a day. Right now, we average between 8 and 10,000. It will double the amount, which means instead of 200,000 people a month, which we're averaging now, it will be closer to 500,000 people, 500,000 people a month, which goes from 2 million a year to multiple millions every year.
The lifting of Title 42 with no other plan. If you want to lift Title 42, fair enough, but you have to have a plan. You have to have remain in Mexico. You have to give the CBP the resources and money. You got to build the wall. You have to do the things that secure our southern border. And I think they can see that this will be a calamity. It'll be a calamity for America. It'll be a calamity for them politically.
This is creating a humanitarian crisis at the border. This is where you end up with real human tragedy. This is where the largest number of human sex trafficking comes from, and we know it's usually women under 18. And it affects, as we've said on this program so many times, every single community in the United States.
20 to 30,000 young people a year are introduced into the sex trade in the United States alone. 20 to 30,000 young people a year.
That's cumulative then.
Yes, but the average age is 15. Some are younger, but the average age is 15. That alone should make the Biden administration take this seriously.
Now we're starting to see Democrats as well. They do not trust that Joe Biden has got a handle on this.
He doesn't.
And that this administration can figure it out. And it's not now it's just a Republican talking point. There's agreement, which is a big deal in Washington, D.C.
And not just the ones that are like Sinema or Joe Manchin that you normally, that are more moderate in tone.
Senator Gary Peters, a Democrat from Michigan, he chairs the Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee. And he says, unless we have a well-thought-out plan, I think it's something that should be revisited and perhaps delayed. Title 42, I'm going to defer judgment on that until I give the administration opportunity to articulate what the plan is. What you just heard from President Biden is they don't have a plan yet.
These are Democrats we're quoting here. Yep. Susie Lee, Democratic Congresswoman from Nevada. Until the administration can demonstrate that there is a plan in place to handle a surge in migration at the border in a humane, safe, and orderly way, I can't support the decision to end Title 42. Sharice David, I'm concerned that the administration is moving too quickly on this. These are all Democrats. Yep. The administration currently, this is from Elaine Luria, Democrat from Virginia. The administration currently does not have a plan. How many times do you want to hear the administration does not have a plan before you realize the administration doesn't have a plan? And that the problem here is going to be a humanity crisis at the border that is going to be unprecedented.
These are not all moderates. These are not all like the cinemas of the world. We're starting to see Raphael Warnock in Georgia start calling for Title 42 to stay in place until there is another policy.
He believes in protecting the humanity of migrants at the border, but before this policy is rescinded, the administration should present a plan for how it will ensure our border security.
The fact that he is even willing to put that statement out, and if it's because of politics alone, but it's so against where he usually would be politically, that the issue, I think they realize, big picture, you can't have 221,000 people being encountered by our government. The judicial system cannot handle that. The detainment system does not, so they just let people back out.
Right.
And again, you're talking about an increase in our population of over 1 million people over a year.
So now all of a sudden, every Democrat, including the most liberal Democrats, are talking about what? security at the border. Guess what? We had that under the previous administration, but they are so set on undoing everything that the previous administration did, even when it works, that's what they do.